How to Get Over a Breakup, written by Justin Tracy, published by Simple Audiobooks. Introduction. A breakup is one of the most emotionally challenging experiences we can go through, often leaving us feeling unmoored, vulnerable, and overwhelmed. It's not just the end of a relationship. It can feel like the end of a part of ourselves, the dreams we shared, the routines we built, and the emotional investment we made. In the wake of such a loss, it's natural to feel an array of emotions, from sadness and confusion to anger and even fear. These emotions may come in waves, one moment leaving you in tears over a memory, the next surging into frustration at unanswered questions or unresolved issues. This turmoil can make it feel as though you're trapped in an endless loop of pain, unable to see a way out. But amidst the darkness, there is a glimmer of hope, a possibility for growth and transformation that often goes unnoticed in the throes of heartbreak. This book is not here to offer platitudes like time heals all wounds or simplistic advice like just move on. Instead, it is a comprehensive guide to navigating the complex and deeply personal journey of healing after a breakup. It begins with acknowledging the depth of your pain, allowing you the space to grieve without judgment or guilt. Society often pressures us to put on a brave face and move forward quickly. But true healing requires us to face our emotions head-on. Grief is not a sign of weakness. It's evidence of how deeply you cared and how much the relationship meant to you. By giving yourself permission to feel, you take the first step toward recovery. But healing isn't just about processing pain, it's also about rediscovery. A relationship often becomes a significant part of our identity, and when it ends, it can leave us questioning who we are without it. This book will guide you through the process of peeling back the layers, helping you reconnect with your core self, the person you were before the relationship, and the person you're evolving into now. It encourages introspection, inviting you to reflect on what you've learned, what you want to carry forward, and what you're ready to leave behind. Through exercises, stories, and practical advice, you'll explore ways to build a stronger sense of self, set boundaries that protect your emotional well-being, and develop habits that foster resilience. The journey doesn't stop at self-reflection. As you move through the pages of this book, you'll be equipped with tools to not only heal but thrive. You'll learn to identify and break patterns that no longer serve you, whether they're rooted in how you approach relationships or how you view yourself. You'll discover the importance of focusing on your passions, creating a fulfilling life that isn't dependent on another person to feel complete. Rebuilding your confidence and finding joy in your independence will become central themes as you take active steps to shape the life you want. This process also involves redefining your outlook on love and relationships. Breakups often leave us wary of opening up again, but this book helps you approach future connections with clarity and self-assurance. You'll learn to value yourself enough to demand the respect and mutual effort you deserve, while also setting realistic expectations for yourself and your partner. By doing this, you'll transform heartbreak into a powerful learning experience that prepares you for healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. Ultimately, this book is about transformation. It's about taking the pain, confusion, and heartache of a breakup and using it as fuel to become the best version of yourself. It's not just about getting over someone, it's about discovering the strength, wisdom, and resilience you didn't know you had. Breakups can feel like an ending, but in reality, they're a doorway to a new beginning. By the time you finish this book, you'll have not only moved past the pain of your breakup, but also taken a monumental step forward in your personal growth. You'll realize that the most important relationship I have is the one with yourself, and when you nurture that relationship, the possibilities for your future are limitless. Chapter 1. The Reality Check. Healing from a breakup begins with facing the unfiltered reality of the situation, a step that many avoid because it feels so deeply uncomfortable. This chapter delves into why coming to terms with the truth is essential for moving forward, even though it can initially intensify the pain. Breakups often leave us clinging to illusions, idealized versions of the person we were with, the relationship we shared, or even the future we had envisioned together. We replay selective memories of joyful moments while minimizing or outright ignoring the conflicts, unmet needs, or incompatibilities that contributed to the relationship's end. This tendency to romanticize is a natural defense mechanism, driven by our brain's desire to hold on to familiarity and comfort, even if that comfort wasn't truly serving us. In this chapter, you'll be guided to confront these illusions head-on. It begins with understanding the psychology of heartbreak, the emotional bonds that form during a relationship, the routines that become second nature, and the expectations for the future that create a sense of security. When a breakup occurs, these bonds are disrupted, leaving a void that feels larger than the actual loss of the person. This is why breakups often feel catastrophic, even if the relationship wasn't fulfilling. Recognizing this distinction is key to separating your emotions from the facts. Through introspective exercises and thoughtful reflection, you'll learn to dissect the relationship honestly. This chapter encourages you to ask difficult but necessary questions. Was the relationship truly meeting your emotional, mental, and physical needs? Were you compromising on values or boundaries just to maintain peace? Did you feel seen, respected, and valued? Or were there recurring patterns of neglect, misunderstanding, or even toxicity? By addressing these questions with honesty, you begin to dismantle the pedestal you may have placed your ex or the relationship on, allowing you to see it for what it was: not perfect, not ideal, but real, with its flaws and limitations. Importantly, this chapter also explores the concept of mutual accountability. While it's natural to search for someone to blame, whether it's your ex, yourself, or external circumstances, healing requires moving beyond blame and toward understanding. Relationships are rarely one-sided, and the end of one is often the result of a complex interplay of factors. Acknowledging your role, without self-punishment, empowers you to identify patterns and behaviors you want to change or avoid in the future. At the same time, recognizing your ex's role, without demonizing them, helps you let go of resentment and focus on your own growth. The chapter also addresses the trap of holding on to false hope. Many people linger in the aftermath of a breakup, hoping for reconciliation or a miraculous change their ex's behavior or feelings. This hope can be a major obstacle to healing, keeping you stuck in a cycle of waiting instead of moving forward. By accepting that the relationship has ended, whether or not you agree with the reasons, you begin to free yourself from the emotional limbo that prevents true progress. This acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about reclaiming your energy and redirecting it toward your own well-being. Ultimately, this chapter is about helping you take an honest, unvarnished look at your relationship and its ending. It's not about harsh judgments or forcing yourself to move on prematurely, but rather about creating a foundation for a healing that is rooted in clarity and truth. By letting go of illusions and accepting the reality of what was and what wasn't, you take the first and most critical step toward rebuilding your life with purpose, strength, and a newfound sense of self-awareness. This process of reality checking may be challenging, but it is the gateway to freedom, growth, and a future where you are no longer defined by your past relationship, but empowered by the lessons it taught you. Chapter 2. Allowing yourself to grieve. Grieving after a breakup is one of the most essential, yet often misunderstood, parts of the healing process. It's the emotional work your heart and mind need to do to process the loss of a relationship, the shared dreams, and the sense of security that came with it. This chapter dives deeply into the importance of allowing yourself to grieve fully, rejecting the societal pressure to get over it quickly or act as though you're unaffected. Grieving isn't just about sadness. It's a complex emotional journey that encompasses many feelings, including anger, confusion, regret, loneliness, and sometimes even relief. These emotions don't arrive in a neat, predictable order. They can overlap, intensify, or subside unexpectedly, which can make the process feel chaotic or unending. But this chapter reassures you that these feelings, no matter how raw or overwhelming, are entirely natural and necessary for true healing. When a breakup happens, it's not just the person you've lost, it's the version of yourself you were with them, the routines you shared, the future you imagined, and the emotional stability the relationship provided. This loss can feel like a void that's impossible to fill, and grieving is how you come to terms with this absence. The chapter guides you to give yourself permission to feel everything, no matter how messy or uncomfortable it might seem. Suppressing your emotions or rushing to move on, it seemed like the easier option in the short term, but doing so can leave unresolved pain buried within you, manifesting later in unexpected ways. This chapter explores the many ways grief can manifest, not just in tears, but in sleepless nights, loss of appetite, sudden waves of nostalgia, or even moments of anger or numbness. By understanding these expressions of grief, you can recognize them as part of the process rather than something to fight against. It provides practical techniques to help you cope, such as journaling your thoughts, allowing yourself designated grieving time where you can cry or vent, and practicing mindfulness to stay present with your emotions instead of trying to escape them. It also discusses the value of reaching out to others during this time, whether through talking with trusted friends, joining support groups, or seeking therapy. Expressing your pain in a safe and supportive environment can help you release the weight of your emotions, giving you clarity and relief over time. The chapter also addresses the external pressures you may face. Society often portrays grief as weakness, urging people to move on quickly or mask their emotions to appear strong. This mindset can lead to feelings of shame or inadequacy when your healing doesn't happen as fast as others might expect. This chapter emphasizes that grieving is not a linear process with a fixed timeline. It's deeply personal and unique to each individual. By rejecting the unrealistic expectations of others and focusing on your own emotional needs, you reclaim control over your healing journey and give yourself the grace to move forward at your own pace. Importantly, this chapter helps you understand the difference between processing grief and becoming consumed by it. While it's crucial to allow yourself to feel, there's also a risk of getting stuck in cycles of rumination or despair. The chapter provides strategies to strike a balance between honoring your emotions and taking small, manageable steps to rebuild your life. For example, it explores the importance of self-care, setting daily routines, and finding moments of joy, even in the midst of your pain. These steps are not about ignoring your grief, but about creating space for a hope and healing to coexist alongside it. Grief, while painful, is a transformative process. It's not just about letting go of what was lost, but also about rediscovering who you are without the relationship. This chapter reframes grief as an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to explore your values, and to build a foundation for the life you want moving forward. By the time you finish this chapter, you'll see grief not as something to fear or suppress, but as a crucial part of your journey toward emotional freedom. It's through this process of mourning that you begin to release the past and open the door to a new and brighter chapter in your life, stronger and more resilient than before. Chapter 3. Cutting the ties. Cutting ties after a breakup is one of the most emotionally difficult, yet vital steps in the journey toward healing. And this chapter delves deeply into its intricacies, both practical and emotional. After a breakup, it's common to hold on to connections with an ex, whether they're physical reminders, digital interactions, or even emotional attachments, as a way to maintain a sense of familiarity or comfort. These ties, however, often do more harm than good by keeping you tethered to the relationship, repeatedly triggering memories and emotions that prevent you from fully moving forward. This chapter begins by exploring the many forms these ties can take: social media profiles, phone numbers, shared belongings, mutual friends, and even mental habits like replaying conversations or imagining alternate outcomes. Each of these can act as a barrier to healing, keeping you stuck in a state of emotional limbo where the past feels ever present. This chapter helps you confront the reasons why cutting ties can feel so daunting. You might fear that letting go of these connections means losing the last pieces of the relationship, or you might worry about how your ex will perceive your actions, whether they'll feel hurt, offended, or even indifferent. There's also the emotional resistance to severing ties, because it can feel like a definitive end, something many people struggle to accept. This chapter helps you unpack these fears and recognize that cutting ties isn't about erasing your past or acting out of bitterness. It's about creating a healthy environment for yourself to heal. By keeping these attachments, you're effectively reopening the wound every time you encounter a reminder of the relationship, whether it's a photo on your phone, a gift they gave you, or a casual text exchange. Letting go of these connections allows you to reclaim your emotional energy and focus on the process of rebuilding your life. Through practical strategies, the chapter guides you in taking actionable steps to cut ties in a way that feels empowering rather than punitive. You'll learn how to set firm boundaries, such as muting or unfollowing your ex on social media to avoid constant updates on their life. This doesn't mean harboring resentment. It's a way to protect yourself from unnecessary pain while you're still vulnerable. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of removing physical reminders of the relationship, whether that means returning belongings, storing away photos, or even rearranging your space to remove lingering associations. These actions, though small, have a powerful psychological effect, signaling to your mind that you're ready to move forward. The chapter doesn't shy away from addressing the emotional weight of cutting ties, acknowledging that it can bring up feelings of guilt, loss, or even second-guessing. You might find yourself questioning whether you're being too harsh or whether there's still a chance to salvage some form of connection. To navigate this, the chapter encourages you to reframe the act of cutting ties as a form of self-care. It's not about punishing your ex or erasing the relationship. It's about prioritizing your well-being and giving yourself the space you need to heal fully. It reminds you that holding on to these connections often does more harm than good, as they can create false hope or prolong the grieving process by keeping you emotionally anchored to the past. The chapter also delves into the importance of setting boundaries for communication. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to block your ex or completely cut them out of your life forever. It's about creating the distance you need to heal without the temptation to fall back into old patterns. Whether that means limiting contact to only essential matters or taking a break from communication altogether. The chapter provides guidance on how to navigate these decisions in a way that feels right for you. It also offers support for dealing with the reactions of others, such as mutual friends or family members who might not fully understand your need for space. Finally, the chapter explores the long-term benefits of cutting ties, helping you envision a future where you're no longer weighed down by constant reminders of what was. By letting go of these connections, you free up emotional and mental energy that can be redirected toward your own growth, whether that means pursuing new interests, building stronger friendships, or simply rediscovering yourself outside the context of the relationship. Cutting ties isn't a one-time action, but an ongoing commitment to yourself and your healing, requiring patience and resilience as you navigate the ups and downs of letting go. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a deeper understanding of why cutting ties is not just a necessary step but a transformative one, empowering you to reclaim your independence and move toward a life defined by your own choices and aspirations, rather than by the remnants of the relationship. Chapter 4. Rebuilding your confidence. Rebuilding confidence after a breakup is a critical, transformative process that allows you to rediscover your sense of self-worth, which can be severely impacted by the emotional aftermath of a relationship ending. This chapter delves into how the end of a romantic relationship can cause deep emotional wounds that often manifest as self-doubt, insecurity, and feelings of inadequacy. When a relationship ends, especially if it wasn't your choice, it can be easy to internalize the rejection or the emotional turbulence that comes with it, leading you to question your value as a person. You might start to believe that you are not good enough or that something was wrong with you, which can lower your self-esteem and make it difficult to envision a fulfilling future. The first step in rebuilding confidence is to recognize that a breakup doesn't define you, it's simply a part of your journey. This chapter emphasizes that the end of a relationship is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity for personal growth. One of the primary focuses of this chapter is helping you reconnect with the person you were before the relationship and the qualities that make you unique. In relationships, it's easy to lose sight of your individuality because you often become enmeshed with your partner's needs, desires, and goals. The chapter encourages you to reclaim your identity by taking a step back and rediscovering your passions, talents, and values that may have been overshadowed by the relationship. By revisiting the things that once brought you joy, whether it's a hobby, creative pursuit, or personal goal, begin to feel a sense of accomplishment and pride in yourself, which can reignite your confidence. This is about remembering who you are, independent of anyone else, and acknowledging the strength and resilience you've always had within you. The chapter also provides a variety of practical exercises to help you rebuild trust in yourself and your abilities. It suggests setting small, achievable goals that allow you to experience success, no matter how minor they may seem. Accomplishing these goals, whether it's something as simple as organizing your space, going for a walk every day, or reaching out to an old friend, helps you regain a sense of competence and control over your life. It also encourages positive self-talk, a technique where you challenge negative beliefs and replace them with affirmations that reinforce your strengths. For example, instead of thinking "I'm unworthy of love," you're encouraged to say, "I am worthy of love and respect," allowing your internal narrative to shift and heal. Self-compassion is another key component of this chapter, reminding you that being kind to yourself is a powerful tool in restoring confidence. After a breakup, it's easy to be harsh on yourself, blaming yourself for the relationship's failure or being overly critical of your appearance or actions. This chapter teaches you to treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a close friend, recognizing that healing takes time and that mistakes are part of being human, not indicators of your value. Another important aspect of rebuilding confidence is learning to take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. The chapter emphasizes the importance of self-care practices that nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Engaging in physical activities that make you feel good, such as exercising, yoga, or dancing, can significantly improve your mood and help you feel more confident in your body. Taking care of your physical health also helps improve mental clarity, giving you a greater sense of control over your life and actions. It's also crucial to engage in activities that reduce stress and promote emotional well-being, such as meditation, mindfulness, or journaling. These practices help you stay grounded and connected to your inner self, promoting a positive outlook on life and a greater sense of self-worth. The chapter stresses the importance of shifting your perspective about love and relationships, particularly in terms of not letting one failed relationship dictate how you view yourself or your future. It reminds you that confidence doesn't come from validation from others, but from self-acceptance and self-love. Relationships can teach us valuable lessons, but they should never define our sense of self. By understanding that your value is inherent and not contingent upon external approval, you begin to heal and rebuild your confidence from within. The chapter also invites you to reflect on the lessons learned from the relationship, helping you transform pain into growth. This reflection is not about blaming yourself or your ex, but about acknowledging what you learned about your own needs, boundaries, and desires, which can make you stronger and more self-aware moving forward. Through this process of self-discovery, self-compassion, and positive action, the chapter shows how the breakup can actually be a catalyst for transformation, allowing you to emerge as a more confident, empowered version of yourself. Rebuilding confidence is a journey that takes time, patience, and effort, but by consistently choosing self-love, engaging in self-care, and affirming your worth, you'll eventually find that your confidence no longer depends on the past, but on the person you are becoming. By the end of the chapter, you'll recognize that you are not defined by your relationship's end, but by the strength you've gained through overcoming it. This newfound confidence will allow you to move forward, not only in future relationships, but in every area of your life, with a deep sense of self-assurance and a renewed belief in your worth. Chapter 5. The Power of Self-Reflection. Self-reflection after a breakup is an essential process that can unlock a deeper understanding of yourself, your emotional responses, and the dynamics of the relationship, allowing you to move forward with greater wisdom, clarity, and emotional maturity. This chapter delves into the multifaceted nature of self-reflection, emphasizing that it goes beyond simple contemplation and instead involves actively engaging with the thoughts and emotions that arise after a breakup. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth, as it offers you the opportunity to assess the past relationship objectively, uncover patterns in your behavior, and gain insights into how you contribute to both the challenges and successes in your romantic life. The goal is not to dwell on mistakes or blame yourself, but rather to explore the complexities of the relationship without judgment in order to learn and evolve. At its core, self-reflection after a breakup involves asking meaningful, introspective questions about your role in the relationship and its dissolution. What was your emotional state before and during the relationship? How did you communicate with your partner? And how were those conversations received? Did you set healthy boundaries? Or did you allow your needs to be overlooked? These questions help you dig deeper into your own emotional responses, behaviors, and choices, allowing you to identify patterns that may have contributed to the breakup. Often, people go into relationships carrying unresolved emotional baggage from the past or unrealistic expectations, and self-reflection helps you identify and address these issues so that you can avoid repeating them in future relationships. This chapter encourages you to approach your reflections with kindness and curiosity, not criticism, recognizing that every relationship, whether successful or not, teaches valuable lessons about yourself and what you truly need and want from a partnership. The chapter also highlights the importance of recognizing emotional triggers that might have been amplified during the relationship. For instance, you might have found yourself reacting to situations in ways that seemed disproportionate to the circumstances, like overreacting to perceived slights or feeling deeply insecure about your partner's actions. By reflecting on these emotional responses, you can begin to understand their origins, whether they stem from past trauma, childhood experiences, or unmet emotional needs. Once these triggers are identified, you can work to manage them more effectively in future relationships, creating healthier emotional responses and a stronger sense of emotional regulation. The chapter suggests keeping a reflective journal where you can document your thoughts, feelings, and any patterns you notice in your own behavior over time. Journaling allows you to track your emotional progress, see where you've grown, and identify areas where you still need healing or change. It also gives you a safe space to express your emotions without fear of judgment or misunderstanding, helping to process lingering feelings and come to terms with the breakup. Another key aspect of self-reflection involves examining your expectations of the relationship and whether they were realistic or influenced by external pressures, such as societal norms, family, or cultural expectations. Did you expect your partner to fulfill all your emotional needs? Or did you maintain a healthy sense of independence? Reflecting on these questions allows you to gain clarity on what you truly need from a partner and what you can offer in return. It helps you understand that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, clear communication, and a balance of individual growth, rather than placing unrealistic expectations on your partner to be your everything. By recognizing the areas where you may have been too idealistic or where you neglected your own needs, you can adjust your approach to relationships moving forward, ensuring that future partnerships are based on a more balanced and realistic foundation. Self-reflection also offers the opportunity to acknowledge the emotional pain and discomfort caused by the breakup, but in a way that is constructive rather than self-pitying. It's natural to feel sadness, anger, or even regret after a breakup, and self-reflection provides a healthy outlet for those emotions, helping you to process them in a way that fosters emotional healing. It encourages you to separate the pain of the breakup from your sense of self-worth, understanding that a relationship's end doesn't diminish who you are as a person. Through reflective practices, you begin to reframe the narrative surrounding the breakup not as a failure, but as an experience that contributed to your growth and personal evolution. This reframing allows you to detach from negative self-talk and adopt a more empowering perspective on the breakup, focusing on the lessons learned and the potential for growth that lies ahead. The chapter also addresses the importance of seeking external perspectives to deepen your reflections. Speaking with trusted friends, family members, or even a therapist can provide valuable insights that you may not have considered on your own. Sometimes, others can offer a more objective view of the relationship dynamics, pointing out patterns that you may have been too emotionally involved to recognize. A therapist, in particular, can help you uncover deeper emotional patterns or traumas that might have influenced your behavior in the relationship, offering you tools to heal and grow. External perspectives can also help you feel less isolated in your journey of self-reflection, reminding you that healing is a shared human experience and that you're not alone in processing the end of a relationship. Ultimately, the chapter emphasizes that self-reflection is not about achieving perfection or blaming yourself for the breakup. Instead, it's about cultivating self-awareness, learning from past experiences, and creating a more authentic version of yourself. It's about embracing your imperfections and using them as stepping stones toward personal growth. By the end of the chapter, you will understand that self-reflection is an ongoing process, one that you can return to at any stage of your healing journey. It's an essential tool for letting go of the past, understanding your emotional landscape, and empowering yourself to make healthier choices in future relationships. Through self-reflection, you learn not only how to move on from the breakup, but also how to move forward as a stronger, wiser, and more self-assured individual. Chapter 6. Unlocking your inner strength. Unlocking your inner strength after a breakup is a deeply transformative and empowering journey that requires a conscious effort to reconnect with the core of who you are, especially after your emotional world has been shaken. This chapter is dedicated to helping you tap into your inherent resilience, which, although often buried beneath the overwhelming emotions of a breakup, remains a powerful resource that you can rely on to rebuild your life. Breakups often leave you feeling vulnerable, confused, or even broken, leading you to question your worth and ability to navigate the world without the support of your partner. However, within these feelings lies the opportunity to recognize and embrace your inner strength, something that may have been obscured during the relationship or in the aftermath of its ending. The chapter begins by acknowledging that strength isn't about never feeling weak or overwhelmed, but about cultivating the ability to rise, to face challenges head-on, and to grow through adversity. It encourages you to reflect on past experiences where you've overcome hardships, whether personal, professional, or emotional, and recognize that you possess the tools within yourself to face this current pain. The process of unlocking inner strength involves shifting your mindset from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. When a relationship ends, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you've been wronged, cheated, or abandoned. This chapter highlights the importance of reframing this narrative, not by denying the pain or injustice you may feel, but by recognizing that you are still the author of your story. Rather than focusing on what was taken from you or what you have lost, the chapter encourages you to focus on what remains, your ability to choose your next steps, to heal, and to move forward. It's about finding empowerment in the knowledge that while you cannot control the breakup, you do have control over how you respond to it. This shift in perspective is crucial in unlocking your inner strength, because it allows you to take ownership of your emotions and your healing process rather than feeling powerless or at the mercy of external circumstances. A key aspect of unlocking inner strength is self-awareness, which is developed through practices that help you reconnect with your true self. The chapter emphasizes the importance of self-reflection as a tool for understanding your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in response to the breakup. By becoming more attuned to your emotional triggers, your patterns of thinking, and the internal dialogue that arises during times of distress, you can begin to dismantle negative beliefs and habits that have held you back. For example, if you tend to catastrophize or engage in self-criticism after a breakup, learning to observe these thoughts without judgment can help you regain control over your emotional state. This self-awareness also involves recognizing your strengths qualities like resilience, determination, and compassion that may have been overshadowed during the relationship. The chapter encourages you to remember times when you successfully navigated challenges in the past, helping you see that these same qualities are still within you, waiting to be tapped into when needed most. Additionally, the chapter explores how developing a mindset of growth and possibility is integral to unlocking your inner strength. When dealing with the pain of a breakup, it's easy to become fixated on what didn't work or what went wrong. However, the chapter encourages you to view the breakup not as a failure, but as a valuable lesson and an opportunity for growth. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to build resilience, refine your emotional intelligence, and deepen your understanding of your own needs, desires, and boundaries. This perspective shift, where you begin to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, helps you move from a place of helplessness to one of personal empowerment. By learning to embrace adversity as a natural part of life, you begin to unlock the strength that comes from facing challenges head-on and overcoming them with grace and determination. Practical strategies for cultivating inner strength are another important element of this chapter. The chapter outlines concrete steps you can take to nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being during the healing process. For example, developing a consistent self-care routine is an essential way to reconnect with your body and mind. This can include physical exercise, healthy eating, getting adequate rest, and engaging in activities that bring you joy or relaxation, such as meditation, journaling, or creative pursuits. By prioritizing your well-being, you reinforce your ability to take care of yourself, which in turn strengthens your sense of inner power and self-worth. The chapter also encourages you to surround yourself with positive influences, friends, family, or mentors who uplift and support you while distancing yourself from negativity. Whether it's in the form of toxic relationships, harmful social media habits, or internalized self-doubt. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of patience and compassion in the process of unlocking your inner strength. It's unrealistic to expect immediate results, as healing from a breakup takes time and emotional energy. During this time, it's crucial to be patient with yourself and practice self-compassion, recognizing that emotional setbacks are a natural part of the healing process. This chapter helps you understand that inner strength doesn't mean being immune to pain or avoiding discomfort. Rather, it means allowing yourself to experience those emotions without letting them define you or your future. Learning to sit with discomfort while continuing to make choices that align with your well-being and growth helps you build emotional resilience over time. Another important aspect of unlocking your inner strength is embracing your autonomy. After a breakup, it can be easy to feel like you've lost a sense of direction or purpose, especially if your identity was closely tied to the relationship. This chapter explores how rediscovering your independence, whether through personal goals, hobbies, or new endeavors, helps you tap into your own inner power. By creating a life that is fulfilling on your own terms, you begin to see that you are whole and complete by yourself, which reinforces your confidence and self-esteem. Rediscovering or cultivating new passions allows you to see the breakup as a doorway to new opportunities and a chance to explore parts of yourself that were previously neglected. As you work through the process of unlocking your inner strength, the chapter stresses the importance of moving forward with intention and purpose. While the pain of the breakup may feel overwhelming at times, this chapter emphasizes that inner strength involves taking proactive steps toward healing and personal growth. Setting new goals, whether they are small or large, helps you create a sense of direction and purpose. These goals are not about rushing through the healing process, but about gradually rebuilding your life, step by step, in a way that feels empowering and fulfilling. By the end of the chapter, you'll realize that unlocking your inner strength is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice that evolves as you heal and grow. It's about recognizing that you have the capacity to face life's challenges with resilience, that you are capable of rebuilding your life after hardship, and that the strength within you, always available, when you choose to tap into it. Chapter 7. Embracing New Beginnings. Embracing new beginnings after a breakup is a transformative and essential process that allows you to heal and create a life that is richer, more fulfilling, and aligned with your true self. The chapter on embracing new beginnings emphasizes that this stage is not about forgetting the past or pretending that the breakup didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging that the end of the relationship creates a space for new opportunities to emerge, even if those opportunities aren't immediately visible. It's about accepting that while the breakup might have been painful and disorienting, it's also a chance to redefine your life, your values, and your vision for the future. The chapter encourages you to embrace the concept of renewal, recognizing that each day is a chance to begin again, and each moment offers the potential for growth. Rather than staying stuck in a cycle of regret or clinging to the past, you are invited to embrace the notion that new beginnings are the foundation for personal reinvention. One of the key elements of embracing new beginnings is learning to let go of the emotional baggage and attachments associated with the relationship. Often, after a breakup, people find themselves holding on to memories, what-ifs, and lingering hopes for a reconciliation, which can impede their ability to move forward. This chapter stresses the importance of emotional release and encourages you to detach from the past. This isn't about erasing the relationship or the feelings that came with it, but about recognizing that holding on to past emotional pain only prevents you from fully stepping into the future. The process of letting go involves forgiving yourself and your former partner, releasing any grudges, and making peace with the fact that some things simply weren't meant to be. It's about acknowledging that the relationship was a chapter in your life that has now ended, and with that ending comes the potential for a fresh start. While it's important to release the past, the chapter also underscores that embracing new beginnings doesn't mean rushing into another relationship trying to replace what was lost. The focus is on rediscovering yourself as an individual, independent of the relationship, and reconnecting with your own desires, passions, and goals. The breakup offers a unique opportunity to explore who you are outside of the context of a partnership, allowing you to rediscover your individuality, autonomy, and the aspects of yourself that may have been overshadowed during the relationship. This chapter encourages you to take time for self-exploration and self-care, using the breakup as a catalyst to reclaim your sense of self-worth and rediscover what truly excites you. Whether it's pursuing hobbies that were neglected, traveling to new places, or deepening your career goals, this chapter encourages you to use this time to invest in your own growth and well-being. A significant part of embracing new beginnings involves cultivating a mindset of openness and possibility. The chapter explores how, after a breakup, it's natural to feel fear or uncertainty about the future, especially when your plans for the future may have been tied to the relationship. However, embracing new beginnings means releasing the attachment to how things should have been and opening yourself up to the idea that your life can be even more fulfilling than you initially imagined. It's about seeing the breakup as an opportunity for reinvention, where you have the chance to create new goals, dreams, and aspirations that are uniquely your own. This chapter encourages you to cultivate an optimistic mindset, where the end of one chapter is seen as the beginning of another. By reframing the breakup as a stepping stone rather than a setback, you can begin to see the potential that lies in every new day. The chapter also highlights the importance of setting intentional goals that align with your evolving sense of self. After a breakup, it can be easy to feel aimless or unsure of what direction to take, but this chapter emphasizes that setting goals is one of the most powerful ways to create momentum and give your life purpose. The goals you set should reflect your personal values, desires, and growth, whether that's related to your career, health, relationships, or personal development. It encourages you to think about what excites you, what brings you fulfillment, and what you want to accomplish in the coming months or years. These goals don't have to be grand or life-changing immediately. They can start small, but the key is to take action and build toward the future you desire. By focusing on the process of growth and creating a roadmap for your future, you shift your attention away from the past and toward the possibilities that lie ahead. Embracing new beginnings also requires a willingness to embrace change. Change can be intimidating, especially when it involves letting go of a part of your life that you once envisioned as permanent. However, this chapter emphasizes that embracing change is essential to unlocking new possibilities and stepping into a fuller, more authentic version of yourself. The chapter explores how change, whether in the form of new habits, a new environment, or new relationships, can be the catalyst for transformation. It invites you to see change not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity for growth and expansion. By welcoming change, you allow yourself to move beyond the confines of the past and create a new reality that better aligns with who you are becoming. A significant aspect of embracing new beginnings is the idea of creating space for new experiences, people, and opportunities to enter your life. After a breakup, it's common to feel as if everything is uncertain or that your future is unclear. This chapter encourages you to open yourself to new possibilities by becoming more receptive to new experiences and relationships. This could mean making new friends, engaging in activities that bring you joy, or even exploring new career paths. The chapter reminds you that while relationships may end, life continues to unfold in unexpected ways, and by embracing new experiences, you allow yourself to heal and expand your horizons. You may meet new people who inspire you or discover new passions that reignite your zest for life. The chapter also underscores the importance of gratitude and positivity in embracing new beginnings. It highlights how cultivating a mindset of gratitude allows you to focus on the present moment and appreciate what you have, rather than dwelling on what you've lost. Embracing new beginnings means looking at life through a lens of abundance and possibility, where you recognize that the universe has a way of presenting new opportunities at the right time. Practicing gratitude, even in difficult moments, shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, helping you to see the countless ways in which your life is full of potential, even after a breakup. Finally, the chapter stresses that embracing new beginnings is not about forgetting the past, but about integrating the lessons and growth you've experienced into the new chapter of your life. It's about acknowledging that your past relationships, experiences, and struggles have shaped you into the person you are today, and that you are now in a position to create a future that reflects the lessons you've learned. Embracing new beginnings means moving forward with confidence, knowing that you are capable of creating a life that is aligned with your true desires and authentic self. The chapter encourages you to trust in your ability to reinvent yourself, to open your heart to the future, and to take active steps toward building a life that brings you joy, fulfillment, and peace. Conclusion. The conclusion of the book encapsulates the essence of the entire healing journey, emphasizing that overcoming a breakup is not simply about getting over the past, but about evolving into a stronger, more empowered version of yourself. It reminds you that healing is not a destination, but a continuous, evolving process. The book encourages you to embrace the idea that pain is not something to be avoided, but something that can be transformative. Breakups, while deeply painful, offer the opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. And the conclusion reminds you to see the end of the relationship not as a mark of failure, but as a powerful chance to recalibrate and move forward with renewed strength. Healing, as emphasized throughout the book, isn't about denying or suppressing emotions. Rather, it's about acknowledging them, processing them, and using them as a springboard to create a new path. You are encouraged to reflect on the lessons learned, the insights gained, and the strengths uncovered throughout the journey. These lessons are integral to building a more authentic and fulfilling future, where you are not just recovering from the breakup but actively creating a life that is more aligned with your true self. The conclusion also revisits the idea that emotional growth and self-empowerment are the ultimate rewards of going through the painful process of healing. It reinforces that self-compassion and acceptance are essential to your growth and encourages you to cultivate patience with yourself as you continue to navigate the complexities of your emotions. The chapter stresses that, while the pain of a breakup can feel all-consuming, it is temporary, and by taking ownership of your healing process, you can gradually reclaim control over your life. It calls attention to the importance of taking small, deliberate steps toward creating a new future, one that reflects your values, your desires, and the lessons you've learned from the breakup. This might involve redefining your goals, taking time for self-reflection, and opening yourself to new experiences, relationships, and opportunities. The conclusion emphasizes that the end of a relationship is not the end of your story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter, one that is entirely within your control and filled with unlimited potential. As the book closes, the message is clear. Recovery is a process, not an event, and each step of the journey contributes to the larger picture of your personal transformation. The conclusion reinforces that no matter how difficult the healing process may seem, you have everything you need within you to rise above the pain and build a future that is richer and more meaningful than before. It speaks to the importance of self-awareness, reminding you that the more you understand yourself and your needs, the more equipped you are to make healthier choices in the future. The conclusion doesn't just focus on the emotional aspects of healing, but also highlights the importance of practical actions, such as setting new goals, embracing new beginnings, and surrounding yourself with positive influences that help to reinforce your emotional and psychological growth. It invites you to see each challenge, each setback, and each breakthrough as part of the larger process of becoming who you are meant to be. By shifting your perspective from a place of loss to one of opportunity, you unlock your full potential and open the door to a future that is filled with hope, possibility, and fulfillment. The idea of embracing the unknown is another key theme in the conclusion. It reminds you that the future, although uncertain, holds limitless opportunities for growth and discovery. The book encourages you to trust in the process, to have faith in yourself and your ability to navigate challenges, and to embrace the uncertainty of the future as something exciting rather than intimidating. You are urged to trust that, although the future might seem unclear at the moment, each step you take toward healing and self-discovery brings you closer to a life that is more aligned with your true purpose and desires. This final message of hope is particularly important because it provides reassurance that, even though the journey may seem long and difficult at times, there is a greater plan at work, and the universe is always guiding you toward something better. The conclusion reinforces that personal growth doesn't just happen in isolation. It often emerges through connections with others. It encourages you to seek out supportive relationships and communities that uplift and inspire you, reminding you that healing is not a solitary endeavor, but something that benefits from the collective strength of those who support you. Surrounding yourself with positivity and understanding, whether through friendships, mentorships, or even self-help resources, helps to reinforce your inner strength and accelerate the process of healing. This message is vital because it shows that, while you are the one responsible for your healing, you don't have to do it alone. There is strength in vulnerability, and seeking help from others can be a powerful tool in overcoming the challenges that arise during the healing process. Throughout the conclusion, the emphasis on self-empowerment is reiterated, with the book stressing that you are not defined by your breakup or by the pain you've experienced. Instead, you are defined by your response to it, and that response has the potential to shape the rest of your life in profound ways. The conclusion offers a reminder that your value does not come from your relationship status or how others perceive you, but from the love and respect you show yourself. It encourages you to reconnect with your passions, dreams, and ambitions, those things that bring you joy and fulfillment, and to begin taking small but meaningful steps toward creating the life you envision. By doing so, you gradually rebuild not just your confidence, but also your sense of purpose, understanding that every challenge you overcome brings you one step closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. The final pages of the book also emphasize that healing is a unique and personal journey. It acknowledges that no two experiences of a breakup are the same, and that your healing process will look different from others. It encourages you to embrace your unique timeline and to avoid comparing your progress to anyone else's. This is important because it reinforces the idea that there is no right or wrong way to heal, and that the most important thing is to be patient, compassionate, and understanding with yourself throughout the process. Everyone's journey is valid, and the book affirms that healing happens in its own time, and that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. In conclusion, the book leaves you with a final thought. No matter how painful a breakup may feel in the moment, it is not the end of your story. It is simply a chapter in a much larger, ongoing narrative of personal growth, healing, and transformation. You are capable of rebuilding your life, rediscovering your inner strength, and creating a future that exceeds anything you could have imagined. The message is ultimately one of hope, self-compassion, and unwavering belief in your capacity to thrive, reminding you that you are worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment, and that the best is yet to come.